Good afternoon, everybody out in the Canvas fan land. We are super excited to showcase today, this morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are, Lauren's Kids. And we're here, obviously, graced by the presence of Michelle and Blythe from Lauren's Kids to really talk about how Lauren's Kids is effectively doing some great things in the pre-kindergarten through 12th grade, personal safety and abuse space, and really how Canvas has helped them transform some of their curriculum to a really engaging online digital experience. We're also joined by Melissa Fettigan, who is part of our learning services team over there in CS. Absolutely love Melissa. Got a chance to work with her while I was over on that team. Super exciting to see her today as well. She's going to kind of be your host today. Eddie gets to take a back seat, which is kind of nice on these sessions to allow her to really talk about Michelle and Blythe and Burt Reynolds, apparently. Burt's also joining us today in the background, which is super exciting. So thanks for joining us today again, all over Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you are. Please share, like, retweet, heart all the things so that all of the people around the country and obviously around the world can see the great things that Lauren's Kids is doing inside their Canvas integration. So Melissa, at this point, I'm gonna let you take it away.
Great. Thanks so much, Eddie. I am so thrilled to be here today. Lauren's Kids has been an amazing client to work with. Michelle and Blythe, the purpose of what they're doing and the cause that they're trying to help prevent child abuse and help kids stay safe is near and dear to my heart. And I have been having so much fun working with them and developing the courses that we're developing for these little kids all the way up to 12th graders. So with that being said, I'd really like to let Michelle jump in and talk about Lauren's Kids and what they're about.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us. We're really pleased to be here, especially being in this partnership with Canvas. Lauren's Kids is a childhood sexual abuse not-for-profit that was founded in 2007. Our founder, Lauren Book, was a victim of childhood sexual abuse from the age of 11 all the way till she finally found her voice and was able to disclose when she was 17 years old. She went through 6 years of horrendous emotional, physical, and sexual abuse at the hands of her female nanny and really felt like she was alone. She was the only person that this was happening to. She was the only child. And not until she disclosed and really walked her journey from victim to surviving thriver did she realize that one, she is not alone, but two, the statistics around childhood sexual abuse and the prevalence. 1 in 3 girls, 1 in 5 boys will be victims of childhood sexual abuse before the age of 18. And so with that, she started the Lauren's Kids organization with the purpose of helping survivors. And so when we're looking at helping survivors, she often felt that she couldn't get ahead of the problem. For every survivor that she felt she helped, there was another survivor right behind them needing some sort of services. So she really started digging into the research. She started really digging into the psychology and all of the treatment mechanisms that are out there to help survivors. And as she was looking at the data, she realized that 95% of abuse is preventable through education and awareness. If we can give children tools to keep themselves safe, then they are less likely to be a victim. And that is because childhood sexual abuse is not a stranger danger crime. 90% of the time, it's somebody they know, love, and trust, an immediate family member, a close family friend, a potential coach or pastor, or somebody in that child's life that the adult who is responsible for their daily well-being trusted at one point or trusts still to this day. And the other thing is that child abuse is not based on, socioeconomic level, neighborhoods, cultural lines, ethnicities. It actually is prevalent everywhere. And we also know, obviously, with the digital world that we live in, that children are much more susceptible to being preyed upon by predators who will expose themselves as young adults or children their ages. So we even know that 1 in 5 children will be sexually solicited online before their 18th birthday. And by 9 years old, that a child is more likely to stumble upon pornography when interacting with the internet is the average age these days. And so all of this information is why we created our mission. And what you'll see in a moment is, when we first started this curriculum, we said, okay, we started with kindergarten. How do we give students the tools they need to keep themselves safe and empower them no matter the situation, not overtly sexual, from a place of fun and not fear? And so as we built the curriculum, what we really found is we were able to produce these beautiful kits. And Blythe, if you go forward a slide or two, you'll be able to see one more, what these kits look like. They are beautiful turnkey kits for educators. We wanted to make sure that they had teachers' guides and parent letters and consumables for their students to really be able to want to implement this curriculum, feel that it's easy to implement, and create this vocabulary of safety within a school culture, within a community, within a parent, so that everybody felt comfortable talking to their children about this delicate subject. And one of the things that we found as we were creating these beautiful curriculum kits is when new information came to light, we weren't really able to turn and pivot and update those materials as quickly as we wanted. And be able to swap out new apps that were popping up that are that we know where predators were taking advantage of children, and use those as examples and give that to teachers as we're moving forward. So one of the things that we had discussed was, in this virtual learning environment, how do we take the beauty of these kits and the real ability for students to interact with this curriculum and transform it digitally, where it doesn't lose its efficacy, or it doesn't lose kind of some of the whimsy that we've built around that this is fun. They want to be able to interact with this. They can't wait for the next lesson. And this is where the Canvas partnership naturally emerged. In Florida, we received funding from our Department of Education through a legislative appropriation to make sure that this curriculum is available free of charge to all Florida teachers and students. And so virtually, we started having discussions around students in virtual school were actually a lot more isolated and much more susceptible to being victims of childhood abuse because they didn't have their teacher's eyes on them necessarily face to face, right? We never knew if their victimizer could be in the same room with them, and virtual education is one of the ways that they keep that child isolated. And so not only as a response to COVID, but as a response to really just how do we create best practices, not only in virtual learning and blended learning, and still give these life-saving personal safety skills to teachers and have it be integrated naturally into the classroom in that fun and engaging way. So what we've done is we've created a spiraling, educationally, developmentally appropriate curriculum from pre-kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. It does meet the full Aaron's Laws requirements that some states are passing around requiring child abuse prevention curriculum and having the components of that curriculum, of that law in the curriculum set. We also make sure that we have adaptions for our special education populations in kindergarten through 5th grade. How do we make sure that as we're utilizing the curriculum that we can adapt the materials to be developmentally appropriate for children who have special needs or even behavioral needs as well. Depending on grade, there's 5 to 13 lessons that are easily integrated, like I said, into your language arts block, into center time, has mathematic concepts, science, and health concepts as well. And then evidence-based strategies to prevent childhood sexual abuse. We've also very recently added in both human trafficking information, beginning all the way in kindergarten through 12th grade. Human trafficking is becoming a subject that Education is needed from a very, very young age. We were looking at statistics the other day, and the average age for a human trafficked male is the age of 9 in this country. And so we're really looking at ways we can continue to evolve this curriculum and not only ensure that there's human trafficking prevention, childhood sexual abuse prevention, but we also know the linkages tied to mental health, and that being really, really important, that mental health and mental well-being is very much tied to the ability to potentially be taken advantage of as a child. And so when we looked at all of the platforms out there and the opportunities, Canvas naturally emerged as our partner in making sure that they could take our vision and mission of what I like to call the 2.0 version of our curriculum and make it a reality.
Yes.
So Blythe, I think I'm going to turn it over to you, just so that you can show, we already kind of showed the large scale curriculum kits, that had very, the tactile pieces, so that you can kind of show all of the work that we've done to make this really engaging digitally and for teachers and easily implementable as you're moving forward.
Great. Thanks, Michelle. So we wanted to make sure we know that a lot of teachers have transitioned from being that traditional brick and mortar teacher to having to wear a lot of hats. So we wanted to really be intentional with the design of this. That's something that can be utilized for teachers that are both working face-to-face in classrooms, but also on that fully virtual setting. So regardless of the learning environment, we wanted to make sure that this curriculum works really, really well for both the instructor and for the student. So what we did was we made sure not only did we create an overview guide for teachers, which has glossaries, links to all of the information for caregiver connections and extension activities, as well as incorporated things for listing, human trafficking components. But we wanted to make sure we gave them some step-by-step guidance, also to give them support with prerequisites and requirements in order to navigate Canvas easily for those partners that are not necessarily familiar with Canvas. So we really made sure we gave specific outlines for each of the lessons for objectives, as well as shared step-by-step guidance and components within the content for teachers. So right here, you'll see an example of listing out, exactly what happens within each lesson, what it looks like for the student. So we've got all of that listed for the teachers, and we've tried to make sure we made it appealing to the eye as well. More importantly, I would love to show you what the student view looks like, what it looks like for a student. So I'm going to quickly switch over to see that. Let's see.
Blythe, go to home so they can see the home page and maybe start from there.
Perfect. And so both students and teachers are greeted with a home page. Thank you, Melissa. They have links to the audio glossary. They have links to being helped and heard. So something we're extremely proud of working with Melissa is embedding something we call the buddy paw within every page of the curriculum, so that if students feel that they're in a situation where they need to be heard and helped, they'll simply click on that paw and it's created an assignment to where they can type their initials, they can type their name, they can type, I need help, but there's an automatic indicator or email sent to that teacher notifying them that that student does need some additional support. So that is something that we are really, really proud of. It changes from a buddy pod to a megaphone as the grade level goes higher. It becomes a little more age appropriate. We've also embedded this Canvas support, so if they need any assistance navigating through the Canvas platform or the curriculum, they can have that kind of as a resource or reference. So we're showing you what is an example of our kindergarten curriculum. Right here, we know that sometimes, and I'm included, my kindergartner began as a non-reader. So we wanted to make sure we included many accessibility components within the content. So there is an opportunity for students to have this read aloud as well.
We're not hearing it, Blythe.
Okay. I'm not certain why. I will see if I can check on another box in just a moment. We've also, and excuse me, I jumped too quickly. In addition to having the students be able to easily access all of the lessons right here, we've also embedded a Caregiver Connection, which provides additional resources and extension activities and lets the parent know exactly what we're talking through as we walk through this curriculum on a step-by-step basis. So parents are well informed, as well as given opportunities to work at home, or caregiver to work at home with additional activities to reinforce skills.
Blythe, may I jump in for a second?
Please do.
We also designed the course with prerequisites and requirements to allow for students to know what they need to do. They have to view items or submit items throughout the course to allow them to progress sequentially throughout each lesson, and they can't jump ahead to another lesson before they've completed the previous lesson.
Thanks, Melissa. That's a really great point. So this is an example of the beginning of the first lesson. We just kind of set the intention or the mood for the lesson. And here the student's going to learn about creating a safety step sign and using their I mean business voice and when they feel unsafe or confused or something that makes them feel icky. As you can see, we have that buddy paw up there in the right-hand corner. So again, it gives them that opportunity to bring awareness to the teacher that they may need additional support. And this is an opportunity for every lesson. We have a video. We've embedded those videos. Michelle can really talk about the labor of love that's happened here, but we've really made sure we updated the graphics, the look and the feel of our videos so that they are more engaging for the student, a little more interactive. And I think Eddie at this time is going to share one of these videos for us.
Well, we think.
Just while Eddie's doing that, the really cute blonde that you see on that screen that is waving to you, that is Lauren Book. That is our founder, and she is the narrative for much of this work. And so what you'll see is you'll get to see her interacting with Buddy.
We did it!
Hi, friends. Welcome to Safer, Smarter Kids. I'm Lauren, and this is my friend, Buddy. We're going to spend some time learning some very important lessons to help you stay safe. I'll be practicing these lessons with Buddy, and you can practice them with your friends. Today, we are going to learn about rules. Rules are so important because they keep us safe. Think about a rule like stopping at a red light. That rule keeps us safe on the road. Can you think of other rules that help keep us safe?
I don't know.
Well, then let's close our eyes and think about how you got to school today. Whether it was with your mom or your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, or even on the bus. What tells the driver to stop driving?
Perfect. Thank you so much. So with each of the activities, or Michelle, did you have something you wanted to share?
No, just that, throughout this journey, Lauren will be a constant that the children will interact with. Very much what you saw in that kindergarten video, lesson 1, is Lauren interacting very much in a small space. And when we built the curriculum, we wanted to do it in a spiraling fashion that the curriculum expanded as a child's world expanded. So in kindergarten, it's very much interactive between Lauren, Buddy, and the children. In first grade, we moved towards what does your world look like in your neighborhood? Then we move to the community and keep moving farther and farther out as children gain some autonomy in their world, so that they're able to understand not only how those, what are those protective principles, but how do you apply them to different situations. And so we're really excited. That is our brand new animation, which has come a long way. Our first version 1.0 looked a little bit more flat Stanley, popsicle sticks going across, but we're really excited about the engagement and feedback we've gotten from our new animation suite.
Yes, thanks, Michelle. So after the student does view those activities or view the video, pardon me, they're going to be involved with some synchronous activities with the teacher. And again, this is going to vary whether these are online activities because the teachers and the students are in a virtual setting, or whether in a face-to-face or blended, but they're going to complete some synchronous activities.
Blythe?
And yes.
I'm sorry, you're not sharing your screen.
Oh, it says stop. Yeah, it says I am.
Oh, now you are. Okay. We're good now.
Okay, sorry about that. It says so below. We give the students an opportunity to then go back and practice what they've just learned. So they have some opportunity. Luckily, again, through the expertise and depth of knowledge of Canvas and Melissa, she's able to find other resources that we can utilize to create activities within Canvas. So this is an example of some H5P activities that were created for the student to reinforce and practice those skills that they've learned. And then we also give them an opportunity to use multiple modalities when learning. So whether the student is responding by clicking an answer to a question, they also are given opportunities to record their voice or to write. So there are journaling activities, as well as a chance for the student to record their voice, giving their I mean business voice to the teacher. So the teacher can then actually see the video of the student working and practicing. When you get into the older grade levels, I'm going to show you an example of third grade. We have, I think I need to leave the student view. What we've done within third grade is we begin the lesson with the big idea, and then we start with vocabulary that's going to be presented or worked throughout the activity. But then we are going to allow them to answer, take a quiz, do a pre-test, and submit answers of what they might already know. And then we watch the video. So here's an opportunity for them to answer some different questions on community, whether they agree or disagree. So we really made sure, and Ms. Melissa did a great job of incorporating a variety of different activities for student engagements, so that we can make certain, no matter where the student is with needing additional support or accessibility, we've really encompassed all of those different learning styles as well.
And Blythe, I'd like to add too that in all the audio that's built into all the pages, all the quizzes, all the surveys, feedback for the surveys and quizzes, Lauren, it's Lauren's voice the kids will hear.
Great.
Absolutely. And we'll be able to have the analytics behind it to be able to track growth, right? Is the curriculum having the impact? You know, when everybody talks about, you know, evidence-based curriculum, you know, this since I like to call this a boutique curriculum, right? This is not language arts, this is not science, this is not math. And we're thinking about how we are preventing children from being abused because of the anonymity around these crimes. Many times we can't do evidence-based research on childhood sexual abuse because nobody wants to be in the variable group of being sexually abused. And so these are the things where we've done just our evidence-based, our research-based knowledge. And so we really look for learning acquisition. And throughout the curriculum is real world scenarios with real children, with what tool would you use in this situation to keep yourself safe? I would use my I mean business voice. And some of you who have not been through our curriculum yet, our I mean business voice is your loud voice that lets somebody know to back off, right? stop, that's not safe, right? With a intonation that says, I am going to assert my ability to be in control of my body and my, basically what I want to make sure are my body boundaries around me. And so those are the things that when we're looking at this, we want to make sure that they're easily applicable and that they build upon each other from grade to grade so that they have that, they feel comfortable being able to deploy all of these different tools in very different situations.
It's been such an honor working to develop this curriculum with these two ladies and their whole team over at Lauren's Kids. And the work and the mission of this team has just been so inspirational to me as a former classroom teacher. You know, that's one of my biggest concerns. And having this opportunity now to have this their platform in Canvas is exciting because it will reach more students this way.
Yeah, and Blythe, oh, sorry, Blythe, I went ahead and put your contact information there on our comment section. So those of you that are watching that are curious of learning more or want to get in contact with Blythe from Lauren's Kids, her contact info, email address is there, phone number is there. Very nice of you to share that as well. Michelle, you were going to share. I apologize.
No, and I just want to make sure that everybody that's listening understands, you know, our whole intent in creating this prevention curriculum is to keep children safe, right? Give them the tools that hopefully supports them not being victims of childhood abuse, any type of abuse, maltreatment, etc. But one of the things we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure that we wouldn't just create a curriculum, drop it in the classrooms, wait for the bombs to go off and say, here you go, teachers, now clean up this mess, right? And not continue our support. So one of the other things that we offer, not only with our curriculum in Canvas, but have available online free, is our Guide to Hope and Healing, which is a complete disclosure kit about what do you do when a child discloses abuse. How do you work with that child without re-offending over time? So for example, when you say you can't tell a child when they've disclosed childhood sexual abuse that everything's going to be okay, because not everything's going to be okay. It might not be okay right now, but it will get better and will get you help. And so we made sure that we built in supports and infrastructure that really can help not only children that disclose, families that disclose, teachers and administrators, in making sure that there's this huge, thoughtful ecosystem of a climate of safety that you can implement that is not scary and is beneficial to really supporting this prevention from all aspects of a child's life.
It's fantastic. First, as Melissa said, you guys should be given a huge thanks and a huge round of applause, whatever it takes out there in Canvas land, everybody watching. Just incredible stuff here. Michelle, Blythe, Melissa, all of you guys. I know we truly appreciate it as a team, the things that we're seeing through Lauren's Kids efforts and the stuff that's being put out there through the Learning Services team as far as this curriculum goes. Just really, really good stuff. If there's anything else, we didn't get a ton of comments to come in, but if you would like to get a hold of Blythe, again, the email address is there in the comments. The contact information is there as well. We appreciate you joining us for today. We'll kind of shut things down on this live stream, but don't forget, join us tomorrow. We have another one as we celebrate the Global Accessibility Awareness Day at 5 p.m. Another live stream right here on all of our social platforms. Until then, keep learning out there, Canvas fam.